A lot of people abuse multivitamins. They think that they can have a diet that's poor and then the multivitamins are essentially going to bridge the gap. What's going on YouTube? It's Jason, and today it is my birthday. As always, grateful to God for another year because tomorrow isn't guaranteed for any of us. Today I am 33 years old, which means I have been training for a grand total of 20 years. That's 2 decades without any breaks and complete consistency. And what I thought I'd do in this video, rather than just going through a typical birthday blowout, is talk you through some of the changes I've made to my training and nutrition over the years that has allowed me to improve my physique, but also get healthier with age. Adjustment number 1. Every morning I stretch for 10 minutes. It doesn't matter how I'm feeling, it doesn't matter what workout I've done or not done, it doesn't matter what I've got planned. Every single morning I will stretch. Now, growing up, stretching for me wasn't a thing. I'd say probably for the first at least 15, maybe 16 years of training, I didn't really need to stretch. Like, my body would just recover on its own. Probably because the muscles were more supple, and also testosterone and growth hormone are really high. And so I used to recover just fine. Whether I played football or did weights, I was absolutely fine. Also, there was a bit of a social stigma, to be honest. Times have changed. Back in the day, stretching was done occasionally after a workout if you were bothered. Otherwise, it was for women doing yoga and soft men, for want of a better phrase. Lads didn't stretch. The past 5 years, definitely the last 3, when I'm not stretching in the morning, I find that I'm tight throughout the day and my muscles just feel a bit stiff. And that's me at, in my 30s. So I started doing this little routine every single morning and I found it's made a massive difference. So I start off with my child's pose. I go into my cobra stretch. I stretch my hamstrings. So literally on the floor, legs out straight and reach forward. All of these holds I do for 15 to 20 seconds each, and I repeat these 3 times. I then go onto my back and do a reverse pigeon pose. So cross the right leg over the left and pull in, and then alternate on the other side. And then I do rotations for my hip. I mentioned to you guys that I had a torn hip labrum, and so essentially I just do like gentle rotations like so on either side. I do 5 each side and repeat. And then onto this bad boy. So I do foam rolling for my hamstrings and my quads. And then I foam roll my upper back, which really helps because, believe it or not, as an online coach, I spend a lot of time at a desk. And so if I'm not careful, my hips, my lower back and my traps get super tight. And so I go through this for my upper back. As time has gone on, I no longer associate stretching with exercise and working out. I see it as something that's just part of my day-to-day. Point number 2 concerns fruit and veg. When I was growing up, I was told at home and at school that I needed to have 5 portions of fruit and veg a day. As I grew older and I started to read a bit more and care more about my health, to be frank, I realized that we needed to have, according to the guidance, at least 5 portions of fruit and veg per day. Most people, to be honest, in my experience, are around about 3. You go into places in Europe and they're having up to 7 portions of fruit and veg per day. So currently, I would say at least 80% of the time I exceed 5 portions, having up to sometimes even 8 portions of fruit and veg per day. I really don't limit myself because I realize that this is where all my micronutrients come from. And in case you're wondering, no, I didn't mispronounce that. Macronutrients and micronutrients are different. Macronutrients are your proteins, fats and carbs. Micronutrients are your vitamins. So the more fruit and veg you get, the higher your vitamin intake will be. And obviously the better your immune system is going to be as well. So what I try and do is have a wide range of fruit and veg. So we have pineapple here, strawberries, grapes, oranges, apples, blueberries. And then vegetables, spinach, kale, tomatoes, celery, and also romaine lettuce. The key is that you're getting your vegetables in, but you also have a variety of fruit and veg. It doesn't really benefit your body. Well, I mean, it does to some degree, but like if you're repeating the same fruits and veg again and again, you're not really gonna get a wide range of vitamins. Final point on fruit and veg, multivitamins. A lot of people abuse multivitamins. They think that they can have a diet that's poor and then the multivitamins are essentially gonna bridge the gap in terms of their immune system and kind of not getting ill. It doesn't really work that way. If your diet's awful and you're just using a multivitamin, the multivitamin is not going to touch the sides. The only way the multivitamin works is if it is used as a supplement, i.e. your diet is already balanced, full of vitamins and minerals, and all you're doing is using the multivitamin supplements to dot the I's and cross the T's. Adjustment number 3, I minimize my intake of processed food and ultra processed foods. Now you might be wondering why I'm bringing up this topic with a protein shake beside me. Well, that's because for most of my training journey, at least again about 15 years, processed food for me was like junk food, right? Like crisps and biscuits and things like that. But as I started to learn more about nutrition and things like gut health, processed food for me included a lot of the healthy food that we see, like protein shakes and protein bars. Now, there's nothing wrong with them. Obviously, they're not as bad as having like an Oreo biscuit, but they do have a lot of ingredients in and they can irritate the lining of the gut. And so what I've done the past 3 years definitely is basically limited the food that I eat to things that have 5 ingredients or less. Not that I never have more than 5 ingredients, but I need a proper justification to have more than 5. Using this protein shake as an example, I bought this shake back in February and it is 2.5 kilos of protein. So 83 servings, each serving is about 30 grams. I've used, I think I weighed it earlier, about a kilo, just over a kilo I've used in 150 days. And that averages round about a protein shake every 5 to 6 days. So I have them about once a week. I top up my protein as and when I need it. But back in the day, I was smashing 1 to 2 of these every single day, no more. As it's my birthday and I'm not having a formal cake, I will definitely have some of these. Nothing crazy, just a reasonable portion. These, by the way, are absolutely phenomenal. I don't know if you guys remember Doritos, they smashed them out of the park. So the 4th adjustment I've made is with cardio and the way I see cardio. So back in the day, I'd have to do like a run or a row, some form of cardio when I was cutting, and when I was bulking, it was absolutely no cardio. But now, yes, I do cardio, maybe a couple of times a week for my heart health, but my steps and walking, I do every single day for at least 30 minutes. Sometimes an hour, sometimes an hour and a half. And the best thing about what I do now is that the benefits are much greater than fat loss. Like, yes, there's a metabolism boost, but it's also about my mental health, conditioning, and just overall wellness. And so there isn't like this thing hanging over me about fat loss. And so as a result, it doesn't feel like a chore. It's good to get out into nature for at least 30 minutes a day. It's good for the joints and it will allow you to build some base of fitness. And the final adjustment I've made over the years is to move away from bodybuilding. Like, I love bodybuilding training. I like the benefits of the aesthetics and strength. But as I've got older, it's not very practical for a few reasons. Number one, bodybuilding done in its pure form is very, very time consuming. Like, at the moment, I'm running a business and doing other things. I can't spend 6 hours a week in the gym training different splits. Number two, the bro split stuff like chest on a Monday, back on a Tuesday, legs on a Wednesday, that kind of thing. I don't really like it because number one, I can't get the frequency of training and the conditioning that I want. But number two, it's also quite hard on the body to, like recovery. You smash your chest for an hour, your joints are constantly pushing for an hour. What I prefer to do now is either full body or upper and lower body splits. So again, I can train it 2 or 3 times a week. So yeah, I do what I describe as bodybuilding or modified bodybuilding. I take the good and then throw away all the other negative stuff. So yeah, those are the adjustments that I've made, and it's allowed me to continue to improve my physique year upon year, even though I've been training for, as I mentioned, 2 decades. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Definitely implement some of these recommendations that I said if you're looking for overall longevity to improve your physique and also improve your biomarkers and health. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to follow me on this journey, and I'll see you again soon.